So both parties are present. Mr. Thompson is here with counsel, Mr. Partney. Your Honor, and the parties are in agreement to a trial amendment, and I apologize to the court that we're having to do it this way, but the amendment would be for continuous support. I think the agreement is that the child is disabled and will be disabled after his 18th birthday.
The child is under the age of 18. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
But that's the disability is not in dispute, Your Honor. So the issue that's really before the court, and the parties agree to the gross income of it's 18 and change. I think I'll have it here in a minute through testimony, but 18,000 and change. So it's significant income. Parties agree to Mr. Thompson will carry the health insurance. So Your Honor, this is the guideline that would be a max $1,840. And so really the issue is to upward deviate or not to deviate upwards. Ms. Price is asking for it. Mr. Thompson is opposed, and I can give the court details, but I just assume just do that through testimony.
All right, then I'll let Ms. Price know, ma'am. Obviously, we got guideline support. The burden of proof will need to fall upon you on why the court should go above and beyond. And I'll let the state ask you questions, and the obviously opposing counsel will ask you questions. And I would also need some background information, and also whether or not the child is getting any type of government benefits based on the child's own disability, or based on either yours or the father's Social Security. But anyway, let's get some testimony. Let's find out what's going on here, and we'll take it from there.
We're agreeing with the trial amendment. Child is disabled. There's no dispute there. Yes, our position is guideline child support. The 2018 order, my client was paying $1,072. If he goes up to the max, that's $1,840. You'll hear some testimony today that he's not aware of any Social Security applications or disability income for the child. That's something we're going to have to ask from mom, but I don't think that there's any applied yet. The child is 17 and a half. He'll be 18 in July. I think today, best use of the court's time might be for temporary orders, and then reschedule us for a final in August. That way, more information can be found out about the Social Security disability, what the child's getting, and then he'll officially be over 18, and we can take a more holistic view of this.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll look at making this a temporary order, and that way we can always change things at final. So, okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Diamond, anything else you want to do? Do you want to make anything, any response to that, or you just want to go ahead and call your first witness, please?
Your Honor, so the state's requesting a final. I never followed up with Mr. Partney, but the evidence will be that the SSI claim is not likely to succeed. And I have Miss Price will testify to her income, her husband's income, and I think that all the facts can get put before the court today. But I'm not going to fight too hard on that. I'll put the testimony on, and the court will decide what the court will decide. All
right, then again, because once the child turns 18, the disability circumstances change, obviously, for the child's own personal possibility of doing something. But again, we'll get testimony from mom to see where all that is at this point. Okay. All right, they're both under oath. Call your first witness, then, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Call Miss Price Cruise. Ma'am, will you state your full name?
Susan Anon Price Cruise.
Okay, and who is the child that's subject to this suit?
John Keith Thompson Jr.
Okay, and what is his disability or disabilities?
He's a nonverbal autistic.
Okay. So let's talk about that. What type of care does he require?
He requires assistance with almost everything. He has limitation issues. He doesn't know appropriate behavior and what's not appropriate, so he needs constant guidance.
Okay. Is he able to, can he do without supervision?
No, he cannot.
Okay. So what do you do for supervision for him?
Well, currently he's in school, so during the week he's in special education, and there's aides watching him. But after 4 p.m. he does have a care attendant who watches him until I can pick him up after work. Okay,
and what do you have to pay the attendant currently?
She gets $500 every 2 weeks.
Okay, and then once he graduates, what's the situation going to look like?
He's going to need more care. He has been approved to attend a.
And I'm if I can interrupt you really quickly, I should have asked one question before that. When is he set to graduate?
The last day of school is I believe it's the third week in May, and graduation is that weekend.
All right, thank you. And then I interrupted you, but will you continue telling the court about the care that he'll need after graduation?
He has been approved to attend a after graduation training program that helps special needs children or young adults learn life skills. He's required to be at the location by, I think it's by 8:30 until 12:30. Transportation is not provided. So I'll have to work that out. And then someone will need to watch him, pick him up and watch him from that time on until I can get him after work.
Okay. And you work full time?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. But after he graduates, what are you going to be looking at having to pay for care for him?
You know, I haven't exactly discussed what the provider who he has now would like, but I mean, she should definitely be paid more than the $500 she's getting, because she's going to be doing more. She also needs to take care of his meals. So, you know, I'm just going to assume maybe 700, but I don't know. I haven't discussed that with her.
And I'm sorry, 700, is that weekly? Is that biweekly? Is that monthly?
It should be biweekly.
Okay. So we're looking at somewhere between 1,400 and 2,000 a month for care for him.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll talk about the Social Security in just a minute, but if care is his biggest need, what's his second biggest need?
Personal care, providing groceries, providing meals. He's a little bit destructive, and he does constantly need clothes and personal items replaced because they've been destroyed. So that's a constant replacement.
And do you have kind of a rough estimate of what that is a month?
For him, it can run anywhere to $200 to $300 because of the stuff that he, you know, because he doesn't know any better, he destroys it.
Okay. Does he require therapy?
Yes, he does.
Will you tell the court the therapy he requires?
He requires speech therapy, which is provided by KISD now, but after he graduates, he's going to have to go into therapy, which previously he was getting twice a week. So he's going to need someone to take him to that. And also they were recommending occupational therapy, which just helps him better handle things and learning how to eat with manners or just personal needs that he needs help with.
And what's it going to cost you, or what's the after the copay? What's the cost for the
After
therapy?
the insurance, the last time
After the insurance, yes.
the last time they told me after the insurance that I would still be responsible for $80 of the visit. And at that time, he was seeing the therapist twice a week.
And do you believe it'll be $80 twice a week again once he resumes?
Yes, if there's no other insurance to help with it, yes.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Thompson would be on the hook for half of that, but you're looking at so that's what another $200 a month you're looking at having to pay for therapy.
Yes.
Assuming Mr. Thompson pays for the half. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Social Security, and then let's talk about your income and your husband's income. So do you have a social?
I don't see any way to do this completely today. This is going to be a temp order.
Yes, sir.
I've already heard two things that we're going to need some some solid math on, because like I said, I've heard you know, it's come up a couple times before. I haven't looked at one of these in a while, so I'm pretty sure thanks to COVID, everything's gone up tremendously for these folks. But again, I need to know. I'm probably going to need to get some exact amounts before I can really make a final permanent decision on this one. But go ahead, thank you.
Hello, excuse me. I need to be connected to Lori Hubbard.
All right, sir, I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a hearing. You'll have to sit back and wait. Sorry, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, sorry, we're in a hearing. Thank you. All right,
So begging your pardon, Your Honor, so it sounds like the court is going to make a finding of disability and just needs to set the new child and child support. So if that's all we're doing today, I would maybe defer questioning of Mr. Thompson and Mr. Partney, and if I need to ask anything else, I could. But it sounds like that's all the court's wanting today.
Well, again, it's not all I want, but based on what I've heard, we're gonna have to do this all over again. And I'm probably looking at a special setting, and that way we can have anybody come in and testify, also what they might need or might want, and I'll see whether or not we got to come up with some type of discovery package also. But you know, this is a complicated one, and we're gonna need to dot our I's and cross our T's. Right now, I'm thinking about I'm trying to put this all in an Excel spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet's getting long. Okay.
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah, a mental Excel spreadsheet. Sorry. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'll let you proceed with the witness at this point. And I'm probably looking at the point in that light and just to be on the safe side also. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so Social Security claim, what's the status of that? Is there a Social Security claim?
There is no claim.
Okay, and why not?
It's been several years, but the last time I tried to claim Social Security, they denied me because they said I made too much.
Okay. And what are you currently making?
At this time, I'm making $38,000.
Okay.
Ma'am, if you checked into the prospect, once he turns 18, obviously that would come to him, and obviously he doesn't make too much. Have you checked into that at all?
No, not lately.
Okay, all right, thank you. You may proceed then, Mr. Downer.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, and are you remarried, Ms. Price Cruise?
I'm married now.
Married now, yes, ma'am. So does your husband work?
No, he does not.
Okay, and does he have some income?
Yes, he has disability.
And is that through the Veterans Administration or Social Security Disability?
No, Veterans VA.
Okay, and what does he get in Veterans disability?
I believe it's $26.75.
Okay. How many hours a week do you work?
40.
Okay, so when you're not around to provide care for your son, is there anybody else in the household who's able to?
In the household, my husband would if he has availability. If not, then I have to arrange with his personal care attendant.
Okay. What's your husband's disability rating?
He's at 90% right now.
Okay. Is that physical? Is that mental? Is that both?
It's physical.
Okay. How much care is he able to provide for your son?
He can provide some care at this time, but I mean, it just depends on what he has going on and how physically able he is how much he's physically able to do.
Okay. Can you maybe just briefly tell the court what are his 2 or 3 most serious disabilities? Your husband, not your son.
I know that he's looking at a total hip replacement. He has some nerve issues, hearing issues. It's a list, but those are on the list.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about who else you provide for.
Mr. Downer,
And
that's final hearing stuff.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'll pass the witness then, Your Honor.
Yeah, again, again, this is gonna be a final hearing. I need to know all that, but for right now, based on all the openings, well, the open-endedness of this, yeah. And then that's liable to change by August, so we'll see. So, yeah. All right,
Yes,
thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Thank you. Your witness then, Mr. Partney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Price, is it Ms. Price or Price Cruise?
It's Price Cruise.
Ms. Price Cruise, your husband, he doesn't have any side income. He doesn't work at all.
No, he does not work.
And can he drive a car?
He is currently driving.
And can he get up and down stairs?
So far, yes.
Okay, but he's not able to pick the child up, drive him to some of these appointments?
Not if he has appointments himself or the other kids who he's responsible for. All the kids attend different schools, so he's responsible for those ones as well.
How many other children is he responsible for?
2 other minor children.
And they live in the same household?
Yes, they do.
So as long as he can coordinate his appointments to match up with these, he would be able to drive the child here?
Yes,
And you said you did not, you haven't looked into SSDI or SSI for your son after he's 8? Okay.
no,
Regarding the costs, you said this care provider, you're not sure how much extra they would charge? You haven't asked them yet?
no, I have not.
But it's $500 every 2 weeks?
It is now. Yes.
So,
And this is basically after school care. So if after he graduates, she'd have him for most of the day.
so if that's $500 every 2 weeks, that would be $1,300 a year. That's about $1,000 at $1,083 a month for that care provider at the current $500 rate.
Yes. Yes,
And about $300 in clothes.
yes. Clothes and other miscellaneous things that he's broken or tears up.
Okay, so if we add $300 to that, that's $1,383 a month.
Mhm.
Sound right? Now for medical, currently you and Mr. Thompson are splitting the out-of-pocket medical costs, right?
Yes,
So that's already covered, y'all are sharing. So what we're talking about is about $1,400. And wouldn't his increased child support of $1,840 cover all of that?
if his childcare stayed at 500, but it's not going to stay at 500.
So let's say it's up to $750. That puts us out to about $1,625 a month, plus $300 in clothes is about $1,925.
Yes, but then you have to add in also, she has to feed him. She's also providing the transportation.
Okay, but
You-
Mr. Partney, again, this is, again, the math's not gonna get done today. I can see, I see where you're going, sir, but again, this is all getting ready to change as of, May 31st. So, again, right now, I'm probably only looking at, I'm definitely only looking at temporary order that covers the guideline. But at the final hearing, I'll take a look at everything, the whole sweeping thing, and we'll take that up then. But again, yeah, this is obviously got to be a temp, and obviously mom's got to do some more research. I mean, so get some more information, and we need to see if the feds don't chip anything in. And I do have a couple of questions for her myself, but I know things have changed over the last few years. So I do have a couple other questions of her. So, but you may proceed, sir. Thank you.
I have one last question. Ms. Price Cruise, you said you made $30,000 or $38,000 a year?
38.
And that there's no commissions, bonuses, you work for the VA, so there's no commission. It's 38. Okay. That's all I have, Governor. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Years ago, and it's been a long time since I was did this kind of law work, and it still popped up every now and then when I was a judge. Is there any thing that the KISD will chip in after, as far as further education of the child after due to disability after the age of 18?
No, they just allow him into the program, but they will not provide any transportation, no meals, nothing.
Okay, and what's the program entail to the best of your knowledge, ma'am?
It's supposed to be an after graduation training program that's just for disabled young adults.
Right, and that's what I was remembering. I know it used to go up to age 21. Do you know how long that, what the age limit on that is?
She said it's still the age of 21.
Okay, and how long will he, and is that an all-day thing or is it a half-a-day thing?
No, it's considered half a day because he'll be out by 12:30, I believe she said.
Okay, all right, so that's still around. Okay, I just want to make sure. So, all right, thank you. All right, anything else on redirect at this time, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor.
All right, call your next witness. You want Mr. Partney to go ahead and call his client as a witness?
Yeah, I'll defer to him if it pleases the court.
All right, thank you. Mr. Partney, you can call your first witness, please. Thank you.
I call John Thompson.
All
right. State your name, please.
John Keith Thompson.
Where do you live right now?
The entire address.
Yeah, the address.
2128.
Oh, no, stop. No, we're on Zoom. We don't give out addresses on Zoom. I'm sorry. That's the city right now. Because all of a sudden, everybody on the interwebs will be sending you, hey, I'm a prince from Saudi Arabia, and I want to give you money. Yeah, right.
What city?
Round Rock,
That's
Texas.
okay. That's okay.
And are you currently married?
No,
What do you do for work?
work in tech sales,
And what company?
Dell,
And how long have you worked for Dell?
since January of 2002.
And you said it was tech sales,
Yes,
and that was the same company you worked for back in 2018.
that's correct. That's correct.
And do you have your income that you make? Is it salary, bonuses? How's it laid out?
It's base salary with the potential of commission.
And what's your base salary?
165.
And you also get those commission bonuses based on sales.
Yes.
Any of that guaranteed?
No,
Did you have one large sale that came through last year?
I did.
Tell me about that.
It was for the state of New York. They had a bunch of federal money that they spent, which resulted in a windfall for the account team, like a big commission check.
So you made more on this last year than,
That is correct.
and in years past, you made much less than what you made now in this past year, 20.
Yeah, this is the high water mark this past year.
So your base salary is what number?
165
165 per year.
ish. Yeah,
Okay. So that's a little 13, almost 14,000 a month.
right,
Gross before taxes.
right.
Okay. You have health insurance through your job,
I do.
and there's other children through that plan.
Mhm.
Any of those children under 18 other than the one here?
No,
But there are other children still on that.
correct.
We broke down the cost to provide just for your son here, and that was 163,
Correct.
and that's medical and dental.
Correct.
Are you and Miss Price Cruise, are y'all splitting those out-of-pocket costs pretty easily?
Yeah.
Does she send you receipts and you reimburse her?
Yeah, sure. She'll just ask me, she needs money for this. She'll text me, she needs money for this, and I'll send it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
How often are you seeing your son?
I mean, here the last month or so, the house has been sick, COVID and the flu and stuff. But prior to that, I mean, over the course of this entire order, twice a month, like I'm supposed to, okay, every single month.
That's for a full weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
What's your favorite thing to do with your son?
We like to watch TV and play video games. Like, I mean,
And generally, how is he? How's he doing?
I mean, he's doing fine. I mean, to Sue's point, he does need care, right? He has to have supervision, but he's, I could tell him, go do this, put that in the trash. He's able to, he understands you. He just doesn't communicate. He just doesn't talk. If he wants chicken, he'll type on his iPad, chicken, and the name of the place from the chicken from. So he's not without the ability to communicate entirely. It is a struggle for him, and ongoing therapy, I agree with Susan, that will.
And when's with you? Sounds like you buy him chicken or food, or
I'm sure. I pay for all food.
you take him shopping while he's with you?
Yeah, we have gone shopping, sure.
Does Ms. Price Cruise reach out to you about incidental costs on her end?
Yeah. She'll say, hey, can you send money for his haircut, or this year she sent me a list of stuff to get him for Christmas, and I got that. And that happens every year. She sends me a Christmas list. We're doing his cap and gown for his graduation, right? So I think I think she already ordered that, but I'm gonna send her the money for that, and then she's gonna get his pictures. I think is the deal we worked out.
Okay, so above and beyond the 1,072 you're paying in child support, you're providing all that extra cost.
Oh, yeah.
When he's with you,
Yeah.
and you're supplying her with money if she's asking you for extra here.
Correct. Yep.
How do you normally pay her? Zelle, PayPal, Venmo?
Zelle most recently.
Okay. Are you aware of any Social Security disability income or social
I am
services sign?
I am not.
Have you looked into the process for applying?
I have not.
So you have no idea how much you might even qualify?
I do not.
Have you looked into setting up one of those disability trusts, that what's coming when he's 18?
I have not looked into that yet.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, your witness, Mr. Diamond.
And this will be brief, Your Honor. Mr. Thompson, tell me if I understand correctly. I think my understanding was the breakdown on the dental and the medical, 138 medical and 25 dental. Do I understand correctly?
You muted, sir. It accidentally muted. Yeah, it does that. So yeah.
I yes, that sounds correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
No,
All right. Anything on direct, Mr. Partney?
no, Your Honor,
All right, then. Any other witnesses, sir?
not for me.
All right, then. Let's go ahead and okay. Anything? Any other witness at this time, Mr. Diamond, on your side?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to closing again. I'm doing this as a temp. I'm gonna go ahead and start looking for time in July and August. I hadn't set anything up that far out, and of course, let me go to CLE. I mean, the advanced family is that second week of August, I think, this year. So, yeah, the first full week of August. So I'll probably I'll look at some times after that for the final hearing on this one. But anyway, at this time, I'll go ahead and I'll listen to closing statements, the closing arguments at this time. And ma'am, if I'll also entertain anything you'd like to tell the court in closing also, but I'll let the lawyers go first, and that way you can see what they're asking for. And then if there's something else you think that you want to ask for at this point, I'll let you do that this time. So I'll start with the state, then go to Mr. Partney, and then to you, Ms. Price Cruise. Thank you.
Yeah, Your Honor, I don't even know that I have anything. The court's heard the evidence, and so I'll defer to the court's ruling. I think 18, if the court's going guideline, however we get there, 1,840 is guideline. If the court's going above that, then the court's going above that. So I'll type the order up however the court wants it.
All right, Mr. Partney.
We think the guideline 1840 is what's appropriate here. It's increasing money to mom almost $800, and so she's going to get a lot more starting from now. I don't think she's met her burden to show. There's all these extra costs. I think mom's forgetting that she also has some obligation for payment on her end. It's not dad supporting every single cost from the child. That's something more for a final to get into those calculations. So I think 1840 is what's appropriate here.
All right, Ms. Price Cruise, and again, this is for a temporary order. We're going to be coming back sometime in either July or August, ma'am. But what's your statement? What's your closing statement or request or questions at this time, ma'am?
I don't have any questions.
All right, folks. No, I'm sorry. Right now, I'm looking at the calendar. I don't think I've got any. I think at least I got something set up as June already. So yeah, no, July. So let me look. I don't think anybody. All right, folks. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and set this as a temp. I'm gonna go ahead and do a temporary modification. I'm going to go ahead and at this time, I'm going to order guideline support. I'll hold in advance a finding of retroactive based on date of service until final hearing. But for right now, I'll start a temporary order ordering temporary child support going forward, starting the first day of March at the guideline amount. I'm going to go ahead and appoint an ad litem. I'm going to appoint the child a lawyer to look out for what's in the best interest of mom. Mom has her interest, dad has his interest, the state has their interest. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a lawyer at this point. And I'm gonna go ahead and give him Allison Kuzak on this one, Mr. Diamond. And I'm gonna appoint Allison as the attorney ad litem for the child in this matter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna look at some dates here. Last week of July. That first week, okay. So I'm looking at, I know Allison can't be here on Monday or Tuesday, so she's a Wednesday person. And I'm looking at a special setting, July 31st. That should be well past your Attorney General conference time, Mr. Diamond. That's usually earlier than that. If there's a conflict shows up. But for right now, folks, I'm looking at, and I'll have you check your calendar, Mr. Partney. Hopefully it won't interfere. I'm looking at Wednesday, August the 31st at nine. By then we're going to be. I'm changing my docket over to 9 a.m. and I'm looking at giving y'all 9 a.m. to all morning long, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I'm giving y'all a 3-hour window there. So at that point, we can get the lawyers, and in case we run into lunch hour, we can run into the lunch hour. That's why I'm doing it then. And at that time, we'll take up all the other all the other matters dealing with what the cost of going to be looking at that point going forward. Whether or not there's any type of disability that technically the child will get in their own behalf once they become an adult. And Ms. Price Cruise, you'll probably have to look into that and find out. You can use Dad Lamb to help you with that if you wish. Again, she doesn't represent Dad, doesn't represent you, represents the child, and she will facilitate any of that to see what the child's as far as availability is concerned. But again, I'm looking at judge is a finance major, so the judge looks at everything in that linear fashion. So I'm looking at what the child has coming in for the child's benefit, what the child is looking at as far as what the KISD is going to throw in, what out of pocket expenses mom's going to have after graduation and going forward. And hopefully we'll get some type of feedback on that, and that way I can figure out what we're going to do. Again, hopefully I'm hoping everybody chips in as much as they can for the benefit of this child. I'm talking about KISD, the federal government, everybody else, as well as the parents. Y'all doing a great job of co-parenting. If people got along as well as y'all are doing at this point, the judge wouldn't have been able to buy those Tahoes when he was a divorce lawyer, but now it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm looking at that 31st day of July. Now, if that turns out to be a problem going forward, just let me know a good month or so out, and that way I can move it around, and I'll have a pre-trial and we can move that around. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and look at doing this on that day of the 31st, and I'm also gonna go ahead and set it for a pre-trial. And y'all don't have to show up on that if you want to, but I'm having that light up showing up and say, Judge, all our ducks in a row, we're ready to go on the 31st, rock and roll. So I'm going to set up a pre-trial for the July 25th at 9 o'clock on the regular docket, and that's just for the ad lib to show up and let me know everything's ready to go on July 31st for a final hearing. So, Ms. Price, I'm going to start with you because, again, you're now a lawyer, and this is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo to lay people a lot of times. Questions, ma'am, at this time?
I don't have any questions.
All right, and I do have one thing, ma'am, and you, sir. Do you have any problem with the state giving the attorney ad litem for your child your contact information? In other words, your cell phone numbers and your address, because the lawyer will be in contact with both of y'all. Well, you, sir, through your attorney, but ma'am, you directly because you represent yourself. Any problem with the state giving her that information?
I'm sorry, could you?
Any problem with the state giving your child's lawyer your contact information, ma'am, your address?
No, it's fine.
And again, and then Mr. Partney, she'll contact you directly to go through your client, okay?
Okay.
All right then. All right, guys, let's see where this was going to go. Let's reset when it's going to be 105 degrees outside, and well, it's Texas. It is what it is.
Begging your pardon, Your Honor.
Yeah.
So Ms. Hubbard is messaging me that she thinks that they haven't set a date for our annual training, but it's likely going to be that last week of July or the first week of August. So she's saying it's 50-50 that we'll be at that training during that.
Y'all usually always used to do it in the first couple of weeks after the 4th of July. So you're thinking about moving it that date. Okay. All right then. Well, I'm going to leave it there for right now, Mr. Diamond. If it looks like we got it, once we figure out what they find, once y'all find out what it is, I can contact everyone and move it around. But for right now, let's just go ahead and leave it where it is, and we'll see. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right then. All right, folks. Again, the state's they had their conference. I had my family law conference in August, so we'll figure it all out. But for right now, I'm gonna leave everything where it is, and we do need to move it around. We'll hopefully find out. We should find out something about their conference in the next month and a half or so. If I need to move it around, we'll let you know ahead of time. But they might have been in contact with you on that, ma'am, to confirm that that will work with you, and as far as those time frames concerned. And for right now, that 31st date, that's still going to be a Zoom date, folks. So we'll all appear on Zoom. You don't have to come over live. Next week's the live hearing in my court on that day, on the 7th. So that will be the live date in the courtroom. So, all right, I'll start with you, ma'am. Any other questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, Mr. Partney, anything else, sir?
You did say the 31st was Zoom. We're Zoom for the final.
31st is Zoom, and the pre-trial on the 25th is also gonna be Zoom.
Okay.
All right, but again, no one has to show up for the pre-trial. I just want to make sure that Atlanta can report, yeah, Judge, we're ready to go. So, but y'all can show up if you wish to. Thank you. All right, Mr. Diamond, anything else, sir?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Diamond, as soon as we know something about this, well, I usually find out immediately when y'all on that is said, but please remind everyone, hey, once y'all find out of what's going to happen with y'all's annual training, just let me know, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and make that Zoom code and set that aside. And like I said, we need to move it around, we will. And for right now, hope we're off the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Partney, your son, Xbox or PlayStation?
Sorry, you.
The whole house is PS5.
Yeah, we're an Xbox family on my hand, and everybody in my family is almost twice the age of your son, and that's how we still get together is on Xbox Live. But yeah, it is what it is. And Judge used to be a PlayStation guy. My moniker in PlayStation is I'm 1.0, so I've been around a while. So anyway, see somebody that's not any good out there named 1.0, just have mercy on me, okay?
All right, I'll show.
All right, thank you guys. Y'all take care, and I'll see y'all in this summer. Thank you.
Thank you. And we can go, or do we need to stay until we get orders circulated for?
Yeah, the state's going to circulate an order with the temporary order, and please review and obviously sign off on it. Ma'am, you'll get that document by DocuSign again. But like I said, ma'am, this is a temporary order. I can do. The order can be 180-degree difference when we at the end of the next hearing, but this is probably just going to be the groundwork. But again, I need to get all those updates, and the Atlantic will be contacting both of y'all and counsel to make sure those updates are ready to go when we come back for final hearing. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.